Hi, scholars. Happy Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, May 19th. This is our final day of review before your end of the year assessment tomorrow. Then, as I mentioned, Thursday, we're just going to do a really fun activity. And then Friday, no math at all. Friday is just our end of the year, fifth grade party at 11:30. So really looking forward to that. Tomorrow, you are not going to have a video at all. Tomorrow, you will log on and you will just click on the May 20th end of year assessment. You will need to log into Illuminate. And once you've done that, you will go ahead and take the 20 question assessment. Yesterday, you had a chance to practice some of the question types that will be on your assessment. We're going to do shout outs for great scores on that and then go over a couple of problems. Today, you have one final review. I was thrilled to see some scholars showing up for office hours yesterday saying, I had some questions, I need some help. If you did not score 80 or 90 or 100% yesterday, you should definitely be coming to office hours today to have any of your questions answered. It was nice to see a lot of you yesterday. I also got a lot of messages from scholars saying, hey, I just had a question about this one. What do I need to do on this one? So thanks for taking that initiative to really make sure you understand the material. So should see many of you at office hours today. Tomorrow, again, there is going to be no video. You will just log on and click on your assessment. It needs to be finished by 10 o'clock tomorrow night. Additionally, there will be no office hours tomorrow. Nothing we can help you with once you start your test. So make sure you're coming today to have any of your questions answered. All right, let's take a look at 100% from yesterday. So shout out to these scholars who got 80, 90, or 100% on yesterday's review. If there's a star by your name, it means you got a 100%. Only 3 scholars did score a 100%. 2 of those scholars, I think, scored 100% because they came and they asked for help. They had their questions answered, and that's how they did so well. So huge shout outs in UNC to Dillery and Manuel, Tenby, Miguel Angel, in SCU to Joel, Philip, Ricardo, Amal, Amelia, Daniel, Alejandro, Jakira, and Aiden, and shout outs in Duke to Larry and Julian. If you did not score 80 to 100, you made some mistakes. You may have, as soon as you were finished, and okay, I see what I did. But again, if you were making mistakes today, I would highly encourage you to come to office hours today and have any of your questions answered. All right, we're going to take a look at some of the questions yesterday that were particularly challenging. Overall, we did very well with multiplication. We also did very well with our coordinate planes. I was very impressed with all the scholars who remembered to go over 2 and then up 12. Question number 3 was a tricky one for us. So we're going to go over this now. Make sure you have your scrap paper. Even if you got it right yesterday, this is just great practice because you are going to have lots and lots of word problems with fractions. So Iggy the iguana did have 2 1/3 cups of reptile food in his cage. He ate 3/4 cups of food for breakfast. How much reptile food is left in Iggy's cage? So most of us realize that this is just a straight up subtraction problem. If Iggy had 2 cups of food and he ate 1 cup for breakfast, how many cups are left? You would say, oh, 2 minus 1 is 1. This one just happens to have fractions. So let's go ahead and take a second to write the number sentence that matches this problem. All right, so we're solving for 2 1/3 minus 3/4. This is the food that he has left. So the first step we need to take is, of course, finding a common denominator. When we are adding and subtracting fractions, unlike multiplication and division, we need to have that common denominator. On your paper, go ahead and find the common denominator between 3 and 4. We are very good at this. And when we are done, we have 2 4/12 minus 9/12. So a couple different things we can do. I realize I can't do 4/12 minus 9/12. If I only have 4/12, I can't take 9 away. In the same way, if I only have 4, I can't take 9 away from that 4. So a couple different things we could do. We could draw a picture. We could add up from 9/12. Some of us really like that strategy. We could borrow from the 2. Pick a strategy that you like, but I cannot just say 4 12ths minus 9 12ths is 5 12ths. It's not. If I only have 4, I cannot take away 9. And I cannot switch the order of 9 12ths and 4 12ths, not how subtraction works. So decide which one you want to do. I'm going to do all 3 of them, and you can check in to see if yours matches mine. I'm going to start by just drawing a model of my 2 and 4 12ths. This is what that 2 and 4 12ths would look like. I need to take 9 12ths away, so I'm going to need to divide this into 12ths. And now it's pretty easy for me to take away 9 12ths. Let's check in a couple different strategies we could use. If all else fails, draw a model. It's a great strategy. I drew out my 2 and 4 12ths. I then needed to take away 9 12ths, so I split one whole into 12 12ths and 12ths. This left me with one whole and 7 12ths for my final answer. I also could have used that similar subtraction strategy, but without drawing a model. I'm going to start with the 2. I can do 2 minus 9 12ths, and that leaves me with 3 12ths. I then need to add my 3 12ths plus my 4 12ths. This right here is my 2 and 4 12ths that I'm starting with, and that gives me 7 12ths. Another strategy I can use is adding up, so I can start with the 9 12ths. This is the amount of food that he ate. I can add some friendly numbers. I decided to add 3 12ths to get me to 1, and then 1 plus 4 12ths would get me to 1 and 4 12ths. And there's the 7 12ths. So whichever strategy that you use, I'm sorry, I forgot this one. That would be 1 and 3 12ths for an answer of 1 and 7 12ths. So whichever strategy that you use, whether you draw a picture, whether you add up from 9 12ths until you get to 2 and 4 12ths, whether you borrow from the 2, whatever works, but we should not be getting answers where we just switch the order of the 4 12ths and the 9 12ths, just not how it works. And then once we had our answer of 1 and 7 12ths, we would just check over here. That is, in fact, one of the choices. All right, we did very well with just adding regular fractions. We did pretty well with order of operations. Remember that your anchor charts are still in your Google Classroom if you need to use them, but most of us remember that gems, those grouping symbols, come first, so we start with what's inside the parentheses. All right, let's take a look at number 6, another one that was a little bit tricky. So Jaden has baked 3.5 pans of Rice Krispie treats. He gives 1/4 of the Rice Krispie treats to each of his 4 friends. What fraction of the pan will each friend get? Okay, if I am stuck and I'm not quite sure what to do here, I can always start by, I'm just going to draw what's going on in this story. So Jaden started with 3.5 pans of Rice Krispie treats. So I'm going to draw out the Rice Krispie treats. that he's starting with. I'm crossing off this piece because he doesn't have 4 whole pans. He only has 3.5 pans. Now, as I read what's going on in this story, Jaden is actually, he's giving 1/4 of the treats to each of his 4 friends. So he has 4 friends. It's almost like he's splitting his Rice Krispie treats. He's dividing his Rice Krispie treats so that everybody gets a piece. And we want to know how much each friend will get. It's not saying that he gave 1/4 of 1 pan to 1 friend. How much does he have left? This is not like our iguana who is eating a little bit of his food and we wanted to know how much is left. Jaden is dividing his Rice Krispie treats. So it's 2 different ways I can think of this. I can think of this as 3 1/2 divided by his 4 friends. Right, he has 3.5 pans and he wants to give the same amount to each of his 4 friends. Or I may have noticed in the language, he gives 1/4 of the Rice Krispie treats to each of his 4 friends. It's a fraction of a fraction. So I know this is the same as 3 1/2 times 1/4. I also know that these 2 are equivalent because this is just my keep change flip. When I was dividing by a fraction, I kept the first number, I changed my division to multiplication, and then I flipped my 4 into 1/4. Either way you want to solve it is great. Now that we know that this is asking us to either divide by 4 or multiply by 1/4, we have several strategies we can use. We can use our picture to actually divide this with his 4 friends and show the pieces that each friend would get and figure out how much each friend would be able to have. We could use multiplication standard algorithm of fractions. We could use the strategy where we turn our mixed number into an improper fraction. Go ahead and pick one strategy you want to use, and then we'll check back in to make sure we have a correct answer. All right, when I solved that in each of the 3 different ways, each time I got to 7/8. Whether I divided up the pieces and passed them out, I got 7/8. When I turned my multiplication, or sorry, when I turned my mixed number into an improper fraction and multiplied using the standard algorithm, I got 7/8. When I did an array, I got to 7/8. If this is still feeling challenging to you, please come to office hours today to check in to get some help with problems like this. And then one more problem I want to check in. We did very well with the y coordinates. We knew it was 5 and 7. We did very well on problem 8 with the order of operations. We knew we had to start we knew we had 60 divided by, and we needed parentheses around the 32 minus 12 to show the difference of 32 and 12. We did very well with number 9, just straight up addition. If Natalie's drinking 3/5 of a gallon and Sammy drank 1/4 of a gallon, how much water do they drink all together? We're just adding. So last one I want to check in about is question number 10. How many 1/5 cup servings are there in 8 cups of jelly beans? So again, if I'm a little bit stuck about am I multiplying, am I dividing, you can start by drawing out what you have. I know we're starting with 8 cups of jelly beans, so if you get stuck, draw out your 8 cups of jelly beans. And this problem wants to know if this is 8 cups of jelly beans, how many 1/5 cup servings are there? Well, I know there has to be more than 8 because each serving is not a whole cup of jelly beans. So I can immediately eliminate answers like 1/40th. I can eliminate 8 and 1/5. That's just the one they put in there to fool you, where it's like you think you might have to add 8 and 1/5. So let's see, are there 40 servings or are there 20 servings? Well, these are my 8 cups of jelly beans. And everyone gets 1/5 of a cup. How many servings are there? I can count by 5s. I can multiply 8 times 5, but there are 40 servings of jelly beans. That makes sense because 8 divided by 1/5 is equal to the same as 8 times 5, which is in fact 40. All right, I went through those pretty quickly. If many of us got those correct, some of us had some mistakes. If any of these are still confusing or challenging to you, come to office hours and get some help. I cannot stress that enough. See you at 3:15 today. Today, you do have one final practice. It's a little bit shorter, but just to take a quick look at what you will be asked to do today. If any of this seems challenging to you and you think you might need some help, I will see you at office hours. All right, you do have it's a lot of word problems today. So some word problems, more word problems with fractions, more word problems with fractions, more word problems with fractions. All right, so as you are working today, if any of this seems particularly challenging to you and you're thinking, I'm not quite sure exactly what to do, send me a message, come to office hours at 3:15. Tomorrow, you will not have a new video at all, so nothing that you need to watch. Some of you will be invited to reteach at 10:45 in the morning if we think you need any last-minute help before you take your assessment, and then it will just be up to you. It'll be posted around 11:30 as soon as reteach is over. You'll just log on. You will click on your May 20th end-of-year assessment. You will sign in using your Illuminate ID. You will read the questions carefully. You will double check your work and you will submit it only when you are extremely confident. I will have your grades for you on Thursday. There will not be office hours tomorrow. This is a test, so once you start the test, that's it. There's nothing else we can help with. If you need any help logging into Illuminate, which you shouldn't, you've been doing that all year with Spell Review, but if you need any help, feel free to send me a message and say I'm for some reason needing help logging into Illuminate. Other than that, I will not see you tomorrow. So I did want to close out today by just sharing another kind of exciting announcement that I've been wanting to share that actually some of your parents already know, so some of you may know as well. But as you guys know, we are wrapping up 5th grade. We have today, tomorrow, Thursday, Friday, our end of the year 5th grade party on Friday. And then some of you are coming to summer school. Some of you are just enjoying your summer off. And then as you know, you will be starting middle school with a brand new building, a brand new principal, a brand new set of teachers, brand new set of classmates, all of your Hadley friends, all of your Maryvale friends, all mixing together, plus of course some new classmates as well. So many exciting changes as we think about jumping into middle school next year. But one thing that I am so excited about is you are going to have some brand new teachers for ELA, for history, for computer science, for when you do band, when you do PE. But what I am so excited to share is that next year, I will actually still get to be your math teacher. So I wasn't quite done working with all of you yet. I am moving over to the middle school. And so on your very first day of middle school of 6th grade in August, I will be there and I will be your math teacher. So really excited to continue working with all of you, really excited for those of you I get to work with over the summer. And just really excited. You're going to take a small piece of elementary school along with you. Really excited. We get to join 6th grade together, and you'll have lots of new exciting teachers as well. So just wanted to share that exciting news. Any of you who were thinking, aha, I'm finally done with Miss Alperin, I won't have to see her again. Haha, not so fast. You will see me again in 6th grade. That was my exciting news. Cannot wait to continue sharing that with your parents. As well as we finish closing out the year. So I will not see you tomorrow. Tomorrow you will just be completing your end of the year assessment, and then I will see you on Thursday for just a fun activity, and then really excited about seeing everybody at our end of the year party on Friday. Best of luck at office hours.